Hi, welcome. I'm just here. I'm your host, Reese Baker, and today we're talking about music's imprint on culture. Sadly, this is the last episode you're getting from me. So, yeah, we're just gonna dive in. I have two special guests, my first R&B artist. I just want to keep saying that. Serena and Nikel.
Hello.
Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for coming. So we can just jump right into the questions. So first, this can go for, I don't know who wants to start off, but when did you first know you wanted to do music? Like, Nikel?
At a very young age, I'm not gonna lie to you, because I was always, raised around music. So it was kind of like not an if, a when. That's what I'm saying. Raising my uncle was a pastor and everything, so I kind of came up with the church upbringing, as most good R&B artists do. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, it kind of installed that soulful dynamic into my music and into my voice and everything. And with that being said, kind of made me realize, okay, maybe I could really take this to another level. Mm-hmm. So as I got older, I started digging deeper into music itself. Not even just R&B music, rock music, soul music, country music, everything. Music as itself is a whole cultural thing. So that's it on that. Honestly and truthfully, it's been a wild ride. It's been keep going though. Mm-hmm. I promise you.
Mm-hmm. And you just dropped your album, right? Mm-hmm. I listened to it. I like the one song, Fall Interlude.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
I like Fall Interlude. That's a good song. What about you, Serena?
I want to piggyback off of what Michael said. I did grow up in the church, so that's when I really found my love for music. How old was I? I started singing in the choir when I was 6. Mm-hmm. So with that, just continuously singing and not getting out of it, because my mom and dad were like, come to this choir, you about to sing, open that hymn book, get it in. So I think with that, I was very scared, actually performing at church or singing at church, just because everyone was looking at me. Mm-hmm. And then as I got older, I figured out, okay, I'm not singing for everybody else. I'm singing for me and I'm singing for God. So I need to tap in, shake all the nerves out, because God not going to be nervous when he got to do something for me.
Right.
So I think that's what really expanded it for me. And then that's when I got into middle school and, elementary school. I was doing little talent shows, singing like a little Tweety Bird. Middle school, still singing like a little Tweety Bird, quiet, not moving on stage, just standing there like this. And then I want to say my 8th grade year and entering high school, that's when I really started writing. And I was like, okay, let me try to do something. So once I started writing and getting more comfortable with that, over time I would be still singing covers, and then it all fell into place how it was supposed to. And I didn't know I would be where I'm at today. 6 years ago.
Okay. I feel like that's real though, because I noticed that when you do it in a recording booth and then versus when you're on stage, it's totally different because you're in front of people. So how do y'all kind of get over that, I guess, is another question.
I think for me, I don't even I've learned to not look at the people in the crowd.
Right.
I look above their heads, and then over time, I've gotten a little more comfortable. I would look at one person, but I can't look too long because I was getting nervous.
Right.
So I look here and there, but I just have to remind myself, you're okay. You're safe. This is what you love to do. This is your safe space. This is,
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. Growing up, I was kind of it was one of them, here, baby, get the mic, go ahead and sing and everything. And it kind of shocked me at first, because I didn't really like she said, I didn't really I was kind of shy. But the more and more you honestly just kept doing it, it got more easier and everything. So, and also, now that I'm doing music and everything, I kind of don't want my shows to be just, me standing around and everything. So I'm trying to focus on a lot more of stage presence. But stage presence is very important.
Yeah.
So as of now, I've gotten really, really comfortable with stage presence, simply because it should be a show, not just a performance.
Like an experience.
It should be an experience. So I've been the best way to honestly get over that is like just be yourself. Act like there's nobody in the room. If you're in the shower singing, sing your life out. You're in your room singing, sing your life out.
Right.
My mom gave me like a little quote. It's like a little wall quote that says, "Sing like no one's watching. Love like you've never been loved before, and be who you are." Like I always live by that quote. I have it like posted up in my room and everything. So that helps me a lot when it comes to crowds and everything. And also as I look through the crowd, if I'm on stage, I might look through the crowd and just scope real quick. See all eyes. Get nervous for a second. And once the music hits.
So that brings me to my second question. In R&B music, why do you think so many artists could be represented as toxic artists or stigma that stops them from doing anything else? I would say a prime example, I say like Brent Faiyaz. Like, you know how in Brent's interviews, people off the bat already connect him with toxic music versus an actual like R&B artist or a regular artist. They just connect it to, oh, you just make toxic music. Or like Summer Walker, like how, you know, some people say she makes toxic music. Or I don't know, any R&B artist really right now, to be honest, like is not seen as like rhythm and blues. I guess it's seen as, oh, that person makes toxic music. Like they're not. I don't know.
Go ahead.
You know what's crazy? People don't even understand that R&B music has always been toxic.
Yeah, that's
Literally.
true.
Like I was just listening to Whitney Houston earlier. Saving All My Love.
Yeah. They're just more, I feel like now they're just more blunt with what they're talking about. Like, back then, it's like they sugar-coated around it.
Yeah.
Or it's like the way that they would sing it. Like, it goes with how you put it out on the table. Now, it just be like, here.
Yeah.
And there's another thing that could play in that is the instrumental and the beat. Like, it can be something extremely toxic, but because it's a ballad or there's a ballad behind it, you may think it's a love song. The whole time it's about being a side chick.
Right.
Which is crazy. But with artists like Brent Faiyaz, it's a lot more hip hop-ish. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot more trappish. So it could be perceived as toxic because it's R&B, but it's
different and like different loopholes in it. Yeah, I see that for sure. Because I definitely want to ask this because like, I don't know. I feel like when you have this stigma on you, you know, that's all people will put you in. Like, as far as, like, musically, they don't see you doing anything else. That's why when I feel like artists that tap into different genres, like, different routes of, like, who they are as an artist, people don't receive it well because, oh, that person just does this.
Right.
You know? So it's just like, let me just put this person here versus nowadays it's so easy to go, there really is no genre no more. Like, people are just making music, and they're just doing vibes. They're just vibing, like, it's not really a particular genre. That's why it's like, when you say, like, Brent Faiyaz, some people see him as an R&B artist. Some people see him as a rapper. It just depends. So it's just, like, I think it's different layers to it. Because I just was watching this TikTok, and I thought of that question because he always gets asked that, oh, so you're toxic. He's like, no, I don't make toxic music. I'm just more out loud with my toxicity, but there always has been, like, literally almost every 90s song is literally the same thing, like you were saying about Whitney Houston. Same, like, I think they just didn't, it's not projected, like you were saying, Serena, it's not projected, like, with us, I think more nowadays, okay, boom, like, it's how we feel, this is what we stand on, versus, like, I guess say, like, back in the day, they talking about somebody, but it's, like, hidden messages. Like, I don't know. I just seen Erykah Badu in concert, and Next Lifetime, I look at it completely different now. But, like, when growing up, it was like, okay.
It's just a song.
It's just a song. Like, but the whole time, she talked about how somebody was talking to her, and she was in a situation with somebody else.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think it's just also about age, too. Like, when you start to get older, you see different things different, clearly.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Nextly, Who are some R&B artists that you would love to work with, past or present? Like top 3. If this person reached out to me, I would definitely like boom.
Her.
Okay.
Aaliyah.
Mhm.
And Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Nico?
Tough
They could be dead or alive too.
It's a tough question.
That's a very tough question.
Yeah.
That's not even it for me.
My number 1 would probably be Jasmine Sullivan.
Okay.
Yeah.
My number 2 probably be Nita Baker.
Okay.
My number 3 probably Chris Brown.
Okay.
Probably Chris Brown.
Chris Brown. Okay.
Hey, that man is talented. That man
Yeah.
is a performer.
That's like my top influence.
Yeah. Definitely. I don't know. Any more that you would like? They're 4th or 5th on there.
Chris Brown for sure.
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown for sure.
Definitely Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Yes.
I just thought someone was gonna say MJ. I was like, what about Michael?
I
Jackson?
don't know. Did people consider him art? Well,
Some people say pop and some people say R&B.
Yeah.
It just depends on
it don't matter.
Michael.
I want Michael Jackson.
It's
I want
Michael.
Michael Jackson. Yeah.
It is Michael. Like, I don't know. There was this one guy that said that in our class. I don't remember if you remember that, Serena. They was like, one of the NBA YoungBoy fans was like, NBA YoungBoy is better than Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And me and Serena looked at him, was like, Michael?
The Michael Jackson.
The Michael Jackson. Like, Michael Jackson? Like, Michael Jackson for real? Oh, Cantrell? He was so serious. Like, NBA. I'm like, I seen this tweet about, like, NBA YoungBoy. And it was like, I know NBA YoungBoy fans are overstimulated because of how the amount of like music that he just drops. Yeah. And I understand,
he drops a lot.
He drops a lot. I'm like, I'm not an NBA YoungBoy. He do drop a lot. But like, do y'all feel like sometimes it can kind of be hard to be inconsistent, being as though like y'all are still in school, like we're still like in college.
I'm not gonna say it's hard to be inconsistent, but it's easy to be inconsistent. Put it like this, because with us being up and coming artists, it's kind of hard to gauge life and being an artist, because most artists, they don't really have to gauge life as like talk about because they have funds. And I don't know why people say that money don't buy happiness. That's a lie. That's a lie. It may not buy. Well, let me say, may not make some people happy, but it definitely make you comfortable. And when you're comfortable, you're in a space to be able to do a lot more things. So it's hard trying to be an artist and be comfortable in life, because you want to be able to spend on your artistry, but then you never know, you might have a flat tire come up, you might have you feel me? If you're rich, you can have that come up and get that fixed in a day. But you know, people like us, not saying that we can't do it, but it might take, if our car breaks down right now, we gotta.
It's a whole year.
It's a whole year.
Yeah, it's harder.
So then you have people asking, "Oh, where's the music? Where's the music, man? I got life going on, bro. Ain't much I can do right now." So it's kind of like, I feel like a lot of up and coming artists get stuck in the area where they're trying to be able to gauge life and be in music, and it's honest. It's crazy because you can really get stuck in that. You can work for so long thinking, "Oh, man, this is my time." And by the time you look up, you're 36. Because you've been working for so long. So it's like, that's why I tell a lot of people, if you really want to like pursue artistry or you want to be an entrepreneur, now is the best time to chase it. Now is the best time.
For sure. What about you, Serena?
I think I agree with some of the things he said, as far as like it's easy to become inconsistent because yes, life, we are still in school, we're paying for school, and school is not cheap at all. Music, getting in the studio time is not cheap. So it gets frustrating whenever you see like people our age that have the access to it because they know somebody that knows somebody, or it's like their family members can do it, and they just in the studio like this, and then it's like, oh, well, I gotta pay $200 for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it's like, dang, that's my whole paycheck gone.
Right.
Like, and like you said, my tire blew out, what, like 3 days ago, and I had to, not 3 days ago, like 3 days ago? No, like a week ago. It felt like 3 days ago. It was a week ago. Had to put the spare on. I gotta wait to get that tire. Because, like, I haven't gotten paid yet. So it's like, not necessarily that the music is on hold, but I continue to be content in it. Like, I continue to keep my happiness. Everything happens for a reason. And I'm like, okay, this just gives me enough time to continue writing. I'm going to have more than enough stuff to have, or like when I'm ready to get my beats with my music or do whatever I need to do, I have more than enough to select from. So I try not to let the weight of life get me down and to sit in that emotion. Rather, I just, okay, it's life, things happen. This is more things that I can write about. Because if it's coming from a real place, then people going to connect with it more.
Yeah.
So it's like, just being content is very important whenever it's dealing with music and life and just wanting to do what you want to do.
I think vulnerability is also good when you're, because I don't know, I don't listen to artists that I don't feel like I can connect with anything they're not saying. Like, I don't know. Like, it's hard for me. I think it's easy to discern when somebody is capping in their lyricism. Yes. Because you can tell, like, that didn't really happen.
That didn't happen. You know that.
But it's like, that didn't really happen, but it's like, maybe they connected it with an experience, like somebody else that they heard it from, and it's just like, depending on the artist, it probably is possibly real, it just didn't happen to them, and I think that's art in general. Like, we always take inspiration from things that necessarily don't happen to us, and we make more beautiful things. So I think it's just like, it's just a balance, I would say, because I don't know, even though I'm not a musician, being creative in general is hard, especially like when you're trying to start out. And, like, you know, my podcast is, like, only, like, I want to say 2 years old, 2 or 3 years old. But it's, like, there's still more to do, you know? So it never really stops. And it's, like, when you're not ready, I don't know, like, when life is, like, just going and stuff is happening, you're not really ready to, you know, get on a mic and just pour your heart out or, like, I don't know, like, just be vulnerable with people, you know? So it's just, like, it can be hard, it can be tricky sometimes, especially when it's like, you're still trying to figure life out yourself. You're still trying to figure it out. You're still trying to figure it out. Which brings me to my second last question. What is the biggest piece of advice that someone has given you about the music industry? Like, you took a quote from that person, and that's like, when you're in those rooms, you're in those spaces, you're like, okay, I don't know. What's, like, a big piece of advice that somebody gave you that's not a musician, or just somebody gave you that is a musician, that you kind of take with you when you're in different places?
I think I gave myself this advice when I was in the booth. I was recording, and I kept having to redo this one part because I kept messing it up. And my producer was like, Serena, you know, like, relax. So I told myself, because I think, because it was my first time really in a booth, so I had all these different emotions. I'm singing this song, and then I'm thinking about a crowd that I haven't even seen yet, and I'm thinking about a performance. I'm like, focus in this moment. You're in this moment. You haven't gotten there yet. Focus in. So what I told myself was, right now, it's you and God. You're not performing for anyone else. This is you and him. And he is preparing you for that moment. So it's more so me being happy with where I am. Like, be happy with where I am because I need to be prepared for what's to come. So that's,
Dropping gems.
So, piece of advice about the music industry. I kind of got this from my brother, because me and my brother, we're in the same type of music path. He wants a Broadway career. You know, basically, my family's all music oriented. So, I think he told me after I dropped my last EP, he was like, the next project that you make, it needs to be authentically R&B, and you need to be unapologetically yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what a lot of artists are missing nowadays in the music industry. Like, we have a lot of R&B artists that might be, underground or anything, but all the mainstream artists, it's not really. I don't really hear a lot of R&B artists sing about love no more.
They don't.
And it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. Like, I want to basically bring back that honest and true feeling of love in R&B and make it sound beautiful. Try to make it sound as beautiful as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I were to enter the music industry, when I do enter the music industry, I definitely want to be the best. How can I put it? The best musician I can be, and the best songwriter I can be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to just write about the same things and the same cadences and everything. I want to try to make things as creative as possible, and I want to try to make things as authentic as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll go a long way. And some of the largest artists that I have that have the largest fan base, they're authentically themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, especially we talk about YoungBoy. He has a huge fan base because
right.
He's authentic.
He authentic.
Just him. So it's really, you just have to honestly be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You should be yourself. That'll take you a long way. Like, don't get into the music industry trying to be something that you're not.
Yeah, for
Heavy
sure.
on that, because I've seen people who have went in and they come out a whole completely different person, and it's like, that's not you.
Yeah.
Like, you just let them brand you into this person that you never were.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why everything falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like,
because branding is everything now. Like,
yes, they will brand you so quick.
Make you marketable.
You have to, when you go into the industry, you have to make sure you are 10 toes down on your foundation. You know where you came from. You take no BS.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let nobody mess over you, because they will do everything that they can. You have to make sure that you're reading everything they put in your hand. They'll have this long list of stuff saying all these benefits you're going to get in this small, fine print. Mm-hmm. Small. In the corners of whatever, it's going to say 80% of everything you got going to belong to me. And you sign off on it because you didn't see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or you just too eager.
Too eager. You have to pray.
Yeah.
Pray before you do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Pray before you do anything.
Yeah, for sure. But my second to last question is, are you hard on yourself when it comes to your own music?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Why? I told Serena this when we was talking earlier. I said, I didn't realize how much artists are the most overthinkers. Like, y'all are like I thought I was an overthinker with my podcast. Y'all are different. Like, because y'all see any little detail and it's like, no, I don't like that. Like, let me do it again and again and again and again and again. And yeah. So why you say yes off the bat, Nico?
My homeboys tell me this all the time. Man. Like, before I dropped my EP, they kept telling me, man, we ain't gonna know some music. I said, bro, look, you don't understand, bro. You don't understand what I got going on. And then I dropped it, and they was finally like, oh, okay, I understand. And I think people honestly underestimate how hard it is to get in the studio and actually be as creative as you can. Mm-hmm. Now, for some people, it might come easy. Some people can honestly just hop in the studio and just, make some magic, Which I can do that sometimes. Like, I occasionally get into, like, a little creative block where I have to really just sit down for, like, 30 minutes to an hour and just be like, okay, what do I need to do? But once you honestly get in the studio and get in the booth, you see so many ideas that you honestly want to put to the test. Mm-hmm. So, but then again, that's where studio time comes in, because it's like, I got so many ideas, but I only got 2 hours.
Right.
I only got 1 hour. I only got 3 hours. So it's like, how do I try to make this as beautiful as possible in this amount of time?
Yeah.
So, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Absolutely. And
like, I can't even like.
It's hard to say. Yeah.
That's what just makes it so difficult, because it's like, like you said, when you start thinking about, oh dang, I have only this much amount of time, you can't fully put it all in because you're worried about, dang, if I go over this time, that means I got this to pay. I go over it, like, oh, is it? And they'll cut you fast. Once that hour up, you done.
You done.
Yeah, they'll play.
We're gonna have to wrap this session.
It's been 2 hours.
You be sitting there like boo boo the fool. Like, oh, okay.
Like, I just paid for this.
Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to get that feeling back once you get back into the studio. You have to find that feeling for it to. And it's like if you can't find it, other people may say, "Oh, it sounds good," but no, I don't feel it. So that's why we're very hard on ourselves because it's like, if I don't feel it, that means you're not gonna feel it in the long run. All you doing is hearing words. I need you to feel it. Yeah.
So like, I would say that. I told Serena, I said, I didn't realize how much, like, I thought I was a bad overthinker. I don't got nothing on singers and songwriters. I don't got nothing on y'all.
It's ridiculous. I rewrote so many songs, like, it's ridiculous. Like, I would listen to one line, or I would say one line and be like, let me change that. And I think one of the hardest parts that people don't even realize, and people hear it in the song, but they don't even realize what they're hearing, is harmonies. Harmonies is like the most. It's like, it's ridiculously frustrating. Like it's so frustrating.
You gotta layer it. You gotta do all kind of stuff. You gotta match. You gotta blend.
Literally. And like, I'm a person to where when I make my music, I try to make. I'm not gonna lie, I have like 8-part harmonies. It's ridiculous. So it might sound like, or it may sound like a lot is going on, but in actuality, when it all blends together in a song, perfectly fine, you'd be like, oh wow,
that sounds good.
But you really just have to think about it a lot. You doing a lot of, oh, how does this sound? How does this sound? But eventually, you cut some parts off and keep some parts.
Well, that leads me to my last question for y'all. So, what's next for you guys artistry? Like, what's next for Serena, Michael? What's next? Okay. As the year comes, we're coming to, the new year.
Right.
So, like, what do you want to see new with your artistry?
So, for me, I am looking forward to really putting all of me in it. Like, I didn't realize how hard it is to put like all of me into it. It was okay. I hear conversations from different people, which is good. I hear different conversations, and I could make that something and put it into some music. And then it's like, I really, for some reason, next year I want people to understand how I think. Like, I want people to be able to pick through my brain, because when I want people to do it, they don't do it. So I'd rather just do it for them so that they can be like, okay, this is how she thinks. This is what she means. This is her thought process. This is how she handles situations and things like that. So I think I'm looking forward to that. And it won't be serious. Imani Nari. That's the artist's name. So look for Imani Nari. And that's what we on. And writing, I want to improve my writing skills. I want to improve my writing skills a lot. So I've been reading a lot of books. Getting my vocabulary up. And so we gonna pray about it and let the magic happen.
What about you, Michael?
So when it comes to artistry, my main thing is I was talking to my other homeboy, EJ. Yeah, he connected us. So I was talking to him, and we were like, bro, these next projects, we really have to show growth. Because the best thing for an artist is listening to your last EP and listening to this EP and saying, man, that ain't nothing. Honestly, truthfully. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my EP. It's very good, but it definitely could have been way better, honestly, truthfully. So with this next, project, I really want to explore my artistry and explore creativity and make it like a upgrade. I want people to listen to this and be like, oh God, this is a whole different vibe. Whole different vibe, but same vibe. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely need to market myself a lot more better. I haven't been like, haven't been marketing myself as profitable as I should. So I think that's a big part in artistry. But like you said, life comes on in marketing. People think recording might be expensive, but marketing is extremely expensive. Video shoots, taking pictures, cover art. It's a lot. That's the hard part. That's the hard part financially. That's
especially because y'all are backing y'all own stuff with
so
y'all own money.
It's like you gotta make it count. Like when you going
and
you want to show that growth, you gotta make it count. Because I'm putting all I got into it, and I don't got nothing else after I finish doing what I'm doing.
And it's crazy because with music, it's so crazy because you can pay like $400, $500 for a music video, and it might only get 1,000 views. 2,000 views. It's a gamble, but at the same time, it's like, what are you really willing to do to boost your career?
So, gotta start somewhere.
I think that's like low key. Like, I feel like that's why that takes us back to like when we were saying about patience. Like, it's not gonna happen overnight, and that's scary because like we're doing it on our own, kind of. Like I know for you guys, y'all are doing y'all's backing y'all. Your guys are backing y'all's own career. Not only that, y'all are funding y'all's career. So it's like you put in everything you got into this, and then when you see the results, it's like, okay, well, it didn't go as big as I thought it was, but it's something. But it's just like patience. Like, okay, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. You know. So I think it's kind of like it's hard, but it's manageable. But it's worth it at the same time. So, but yeah, that brings me to my last question. Thank you guys for coming so much. Please listen to Serena and my cousin. This was Music's Imprint on Culture, my last episode. And so remember, guys, stay blessed, no stress, and always be here. Do you guys have anything you want to say before we, close, leave out?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
For sure. Well, thank you guys.